So are you ready? We are going to go look at the house for the first time in person. It's snowing! Holy cow! All right, off to the inspection. Okay, we are pulling up. Zoom in on this chin pimple. Excuse me. So what did you just say? Benny's like, no YouTube for me.
I'm so anxious to get to Benny's new house that I have been touring the area. I've been driving on
Via Google Maps.
And I have explored just about every single street.
So you know where the gas station is? He just
I know
said
where the gas station is. I know where all the good coffee spots are, the restaurants. I can see the roads in my head and I've never been there. It's amazing.
Our future neighborhood.
I'm already waving at neighbors on Google Maps. I'm like, what's up, neighbor?
Are you gonna be that guy?
No. In my head, I'm that guy.
But not in real life.
Neighbor.
And we're not even locked in or anything like that, but this is how you picture things. Like, think about our life there. Oh. Oh my God. Going to Laguna. We also got our boxes over here and our packing supplies. So now we should be starting the packing process, which is really weird because it's actually less than 3 weeks now till the move. Looked at our calendar, started panicking a little bit. Also still weird because we technically don't have a firm close date, just depending on how a couple things go. We're still waiting on our appraisal to come back, hopefully on the early half of this week. But then the title company also needs to take care of some stuff. The sellers need to close out certain open permits, get like an inspection for the certificate of occupancy, all of that stuff before we are basically confirmed to close. Also, typically this is also when your mortgage lender needs to issue their loan commitment and basically verify that they've done everything to check you out, which they have already pretty much done on our end. So at least that's kind of taken care of. They also started a little bit on the landscaping of our current house for the sale. This was something that we decided was worth the investment for the potential resale value, because For those of you who were around a long time ago, our landscaping was a fiasco essentially after we first moved in, first with the foxtail weeds that were really dangerous to Benny, but then we tried ripping them up and spent a lot of money with a gardener that did not do a good job. So it's kind of been a pain point for me and a little bit of like PTSD when it comes to like financially investing in something and not having it turn out. But yesterday after going to Laguna, today just felt really nice. We were planning to hike this morning because we want to fit in as much LA stuff as possible before we go. But honestly, I'm really tired. I'm still on my cycle and I just feel like I have a million things to do and I haven't even had a chance to write out to-do lists and whatnot really. So now we also have to finalize the movers. We need to get certain things. So we were looking at a washer and dryer because that's one thing that we have to buy for this house. Same thing with this house here, funny enough, but the prices on that just like skyrocketed for some reason. So now we're going to try to wait till President's Day sale, which will be interesting with the timing of things. I also have a bunch of work deadlines that I'm hoping to square away before we go. We're also having Benny get his doctor's appointment with his annual blood work done here with the people that he's familiar with. I have my skin check tomorrow. Hopefully this little mole here does not come back as anything. And then just a lot of seeing our friends in the last of LA before we go. Welcome to my operating room, where I perform surgery on some very important people in our house. I just patched up. All these guys have so many scars at all of their joints, stitches on them all. This is what I now do in my 30s. This is the mom activity. Coming to you from a Whole Foods parking lot this time instead of a Trader Joe's. Just got done with my skin check. Thankfully, they don't think that the mole is anything to be concerned about and all looks good. There's no like sun damage or whatnot on my body, which is, I feel like, something to be proud of for living in California for 2 years. I've been much better about sunscreen, especially on my face over the last couple of years. I can't believe we are about 2.5 weeks out from the move. I feel like I've been very careful grocery shopping because I don't want to waste food, and a lot of like non-perishables that we have left over at the end of the 2 weeks we're gonna try to give off to friends, but we're trying to wisely eat through the pantry, which is also why on my Instagram I feel like I've not been posting any kind of cooking or food, because I'm like, here's some pasta noodles and some random condiments covered in some random protein. This is what our dinners look like lately. But right now back at the house, they are ripping up our yard, doing landscaping in order to get things ready for the sale. Poor Benny right now, he does not like all of the noise, and he gets very concerned that we did not permit these people to be in our yard, ripping up our yard, so he stands watch by the door, very concerned. It's really funny because I have commented time and again how LA drivers are the actual worst and how I hate driving in LA because of the drivers, but at the same time, going around, and I had to drive all the way over to Santa Monica for my doctor's appointment today, and going on these highways that I now don't need GPS to navigate because I'm so used to these routes, and seeing the beautiful scenery, I'm like, oh gosh, I am going to miss driving around scenic places like this, but because Jersey and New York highways are nothing to brag home about when it comes to the aesthetic of it. I feel like this is like weirdly, not necessarily the calm before the storm because things are still chaotic right now, but at the same time, I feel like things are just going to be very whiplashy over the next couple of weeks. I feel like I'm a little nervous that I'm going to forget about all of this stuff and I'm going to look back and it's going to be a blur because that's how the last move was. And maybe there's no way around that. Maybe it's supposed to be that way, but I'm trying to slow things down and be as present as possible and enjoy these last couple of weeks while simultaneously preparing for our next chapter. I think it's really hard to, juggle being present and available and soak things up while also preparing for the next thing, but I feel like that is one of the adult lessons in life that present itself to you over and over. Anyway, I should go get groceries now. Came home to check on the landscaping, which is looking pretty good so far, and catch up on a little work before I have to head back out. Okay, so I'm on my way to a massage. I didn't use my massage packages while I had surgery, So I need to catch up on them and use them before we move.